Just incredible learning the story about Vine and Branches. And I have to say, I'm thinking of all of your testimonies, just all that God has been doing here. It's incredible. It is absolutely incredible. And so all I can say is thank you for letting me be a part of that. Thank you for inviting Bridget and I here. Thank you for welcoming us into your family. It's incredible. And we are so blessed just seeing what God's got in store in the next 10 years. What does that mean? Well, over my last year here, we've been not quite year, but getting close. Can you believe it? We've been dreaming up some things. What are some things we could be doing? Not long after I got here, Melinda Reedy approached me. And she said, Pastor, we should consider a community garden. And I had so many other things I was thinking about that time, I just didn't think much of it. I thought, that's not a priority in my mind right now. Maybe one day. And then I had a few other people a few months later say, Pastor, you ever thought about a community garden? And said, yeah, I have actually. Why? And so we had a few people come together, a few members I talked to saying, what if we did that? Because the community could really benefit it. Bring them our property, could get to know them. And then someone suggested, you could put a vine in there too. What if you grew a vine? And then you could attach it to the curriculum for the kids, and they could learn about growth, and they could watch it grow throughout the year. And I thought that's a really good idea. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if they're still here or not, the Constantino family approached me, and they have sons looking for Eagle projects. And so we might have a community garden in the near future. When you grow a garden, and I think as we well saw with building this property, you need a shovel. You need a lot of shovels, actually. And because in the shovel, you're trying to dig out and find all the things, in the dirt that prevent growth. You want to make the ground fertile. You want to make sure you have the correct topsoil. You want to have essentially you're cultivating the land for growth. And so I think, one direction we are considering in the future is cultivating that, and hopefully cultivating new relationships with our community members, cultivating a new growth or a new curriculum and learning a little more in addition for our current childcare curriculum. And it's just a great way to even have some sermon material. So anyways, but this is something we may be considering in the near future. I have had a chance to connect with our small group here at Vine and Branches. A few of our members, longtime members, have been helping with that and being a part of it. And, if we're going to grow together in His Word, maybe we want to do that a little more. That same spot in Panera is still there. I was just sitting there actually on Wednesday. But it's now just a few tables. Maybe we could pull those tables back together again. I'd love to do that. And I'd love to start gathering interest on, staying connected to the vine, if I am to quote Brittany. But this is something we're looking ahead to. One of the things I love here at Vine and Branch is actually one of the things that drew Bridget and I kid you not, this is a very active congregation, not just on weekends, but even during the service, even physically active during the service. Whenever I walk, I have to look down to make sure that I don't run into anyone, because you know what? There are so many kids here. I love it. I love every second of it. But here's the thing, in a few years, those kids are going to grow up, and I imagine we're going to have a lot more opportunities to do things together. They're going to be in middle school and then high school, and it wouldn't hurt if we had a youth ministry we started to grow out of that. And if we're going to do a youth ministry, well, I know my bandwidth, we might need another church worker. So, more growth. More things to cultivate, if you will. So that's something we have to consider. But of course, if we're going to move on a youth ministry, we're running out of office space. I don't know about you, but I've just noticed that. Amy Marie and I are playing a game of Tetris sometimes, just trying to figure out where everything goes and what to keep. And I have to say, that's going to happen. We're going to need a few more of these. In fact, I remember seeing that picture up there, the golden shovel. You know what? I am hoping, if it's God's will, that as we continue to grow, that maybe within the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to get a lot more of these. And my goal is for everyone in this room to have a picture holding one of these shovels as we break ground. That's my goal. And I'd love to work toward that. But see, that's going to happen when we stay connected to the vine, when we stay rooted in Christ, when we grow together in his word, and when we show him to the world. And so we're going to keep listening to the word. We're going to listen to Christ, and we're going to go forward and see what he has in store.